Chris and Jeff back again. Baseball cards, they're only friends. Super short prints they collect. The rarest of cards, yeah, respect. Blabbing about slabbing. Every Thursday's a spot. Blabbing about slabbing. SSP cards that we've got. Tune in now, don't be late. Baseball cards, it's worth the wait. Chris and Jeff, they got the scoop. On the cards with the best clues. Chris follows the Braves through thick and thin. Jeff's with the Brewers, always in the win. Their love for the game shines on the screen. Collecting variations, they're a winning team. Blabbing about slabbing. Every Thursday's the spot. Blabbing about slabbing. SSP cards that we've got.
SSP cards that we got.
It's more about SSP cards everyone else has, Jeff.
Yeah,
Oh.
that was baseball card Brett's right on it. Card Envy
100%.
Thursday. What's
Yeah.
up, guys? I'm sure we'll get a Chris rant about the Braves today, but we've also got some SSPs to look at. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Really appreciate all the posts. Chris, my Instagram was blowing up with SSP Thursday posts, as
Yep.
was yours, I'm sure. And there was some amazing stuff on there.
There was, it was a lot. My eyes are always burning by this time of night on SSP Thursday. But, my throat is also burning from the gagging and the just near vomiting that took place today. I said,
Yeah.
I want to be clear, Jeff. I told you the Braves season was over when they gave up 2 runs and lost in Colorado.
Yes, that was you marked the season over at that point. So
I said any realistic hopes were dashed on that day. It wasn't going to happen. But today is the official just patting of the dirt on the grave that is the season.
crazy.
Yeah.
Just crazy.
Yeah. An unfortunate day. But I was actually watching this while we were playing cards with my parents. We had the game on. And my dad was getting real mad about it. And I'm like, listen,
Really?
they're not going to lose unless Iglesias comes in. And then they're in serious trouble. And sure enough, Snicker came walking out. And I think my wife was the one to point out, like, is that Iglesias coming in? And yeah, that was it. That was it. The definition of insanity, Jeff, is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. And anyone who thought that Iglesias was going to shut that door, I don't know what to tell you. It wasn't going to happen.
The door just stayed open.
It did.
For a
The
long
Diamondbacks door
time.
is open. The Braves door is closed, but the Diamondbacks door is very open. But yeah, Shelly, don't take it too hard. It's we haven't been in this position for a while, so we can talk about what they're going to do, who they're going to trade. Chris Sale will be a real interesting possibility with an option for next year. He could get a real nice return. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see what they do.
Yeah.
But I feel bad for him going out there every 5th day, Jeff, and pitching his heart out, knowing full well he's not going to get any help.
No. And then just to see his offense be able to score in a game like today when he's not pitching, of course, must be just the icing on the cake.
Yeah. And I mean, we've been joking about Blewett being the worst possible name for a reliever, and he'd been pretty good until today. But anyway, I don't want to talk about that. That's bad. Can I take a minute, Jeff, and talk about the second biggest kick to my groin that I got today over the weekend or over the week? I guess the week. So if you saw on IG, I was looking for a box to rip. I grabbed this box from Charlotte Sports Collectibles.
Okay.
I go
great.
to a hobby shop when I'm in town down here. And it wasn't too expensive, 2022. Anyway, I want to just go over the hits from the box real quick, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what good rookies were in 2022.
Well, the
Maybe
less
you can
we
remind
remember-
me.
The less we remember, the better. So the first up are the relics. So we got this beautiful Pete Alonso manufactured relic,
New York City Pride.
which even my brother, who knows nothing about baseball cards, read the back of this and said, "Why would this card have any value?" And I was like, "Well, it doesn't." So,
It doesn't. There you go.
there you go.
Yeah.
Mark McGuire, bat relic.
Hey, didn't you get a Reggie Jackson bat relic recently?
No. Reggie Jackson's a really good, famous baseball. We don't get those cards, Jeff.
What other bat relic did you get recently?
Javi Baez was earlier this year, like in January. No one's ever confused Javi Baez and Reggie Jackson, though. So I don't know who the other one was. I don't know. I'll go back. I have it here somewhere. So this was the other relic. My brother-in-law looked that up for me. One sold for like $6. Our auto, hold on to your hat. A Griffin Jacks sticker auto.
Baseball Stars, I'm guessing, is the insert set.
Pretty
How
generous.
did he get appointed to the Baseball Stars?
That's an excellent question. Yeah. So that's, I think we're looking at a good $2 right there. I mean, and then obviously we get the home run challenge card, which I had to explain to my dad that not only has this expired, but Wander Franco is never hitting another home run in Major League Baseball again.
Yeah.
Yep.
If
A
you could
quick
pick any
reminder.
day, you could pick every day from now until infinity, and you still would not win that prize.
I think we all remember this card, right? The
Oh yeah, the
fervor,
$40 Wander Franco card.
the fervor over this card. Even you and I were like, "Oh, he's got the gold cup on it." That just
Yeah.
looks really cool. And of course, to throw a little a silver pack Franco as well.
So you cleaned up on Franco's.
Yeah.
All right. Well, was your dad pleased with the box?
Yeah, he got let's see, an Ohtani, 2 Mookie Betts, a Kershaw, a Freddie Freeman, and 2 Will Smith cards. So he was stoked.
Bring on the Dodgers.
That's right. He was very excited. I didn't have the heart to tell him those cards could have been purchased for 1/15 the price of that box, but neither here nor there.
No, you lose the fun of it, and you can't use them as coasters.
Jordan Duggan, I will check with my we check the balance, sell those. I'll check my balance in the morning and see how that's going to go.
It's so Mr. Parsons is a quantity over quality guy. Great.
Yeah, he's just looking for Dodgers and Tigers. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Oh, SFO Sox fan. Let's not get started about his SSPs.
Yeah, it is actually a really cool looking card. I have to admit they couldn't center them, but it is a nice looking card.
Yeah.
All right.
So SSP Thursday, Chris. I saw some amazing stuff today. You want to talk about anything else before we get into that?
No, I'm ready. I'm ready to start. We traditionally do start with one particular Instagram user, but I wanted to deviate from that to share a card that popped up sort of later in the day for me. I don't know, maybe you saw it earlier. I don't know when, but and it really felt like sort of a final like knife in the heart, if you will.
Oh, a final knife in the heart.
John, I'm right there with you, buddy. It's it was very fitting, I thought. But Deepala Collects threw up this Brandon Pfaadt card, and Pfaadt started this game today, as you know, and at one point sure looked like he'd thrown his second stinker in a row, but he got bailed out. So I got to see his smiling face right there at the there you go. Yeah, the Pfaadt card and Pfaadt incoming.
Oh man, yeah, I know all about him from the Brewers playoff experience.
I think we sent around that Instagram reel, Jeff, of him giving up like 8 straight base runners to start that game against the Nationals, and like nothing cheap.
Yeah.
Like the first pitch, hit like the back foot of the batter, and it was just downhill from there.
That was the yes hitter, right? He threw the
first
yes hitter.
Yes. Yeah. On another note, I do like how this card looks.
I did
as
too.
much as it now fills me with a bit of rage and sadness. I like the image, the angle, the shadow. Yeah, Game 7 hero. Good call, Brandon. Oh my goodness. But yeah,
Yep,
so
yes hitter.
Yeah.
I hate to mention it because of what's going on with your team, but the Brewers are showing some signs of life, actually.
That's we shouldn't both be miserable, Jeff.
Yeah, I feel like, but still, I mean, as miserable as you are and as hot as the Brewers have played, the record's not substantially better than the Braves. So it's still early.
I think you're trending in the right direction.
Well, that's
the better direction. Yeah. Yeah. And AB8 Hobbies, Adam, I bet you can guess who had Christian Yelich on his bench last week.
Yeah. Every time I texted Chris about a yelly bomb, I got expletives in return.
Yeah, that was my worst managerial move of the entire season, Jeff, because I benched Yelich because the Astros manager, the last thing I saw was like,
he implied
Yordan's
that
going to be back any day. We don't want to put a date on it, but he just took BP on Sunday and he looks great. They had a day off Monday, and I'm like, oh, he's coming right back.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Chris, the Astros have not heard of an X-ray machine because they didn't realize he had a fracture in his hand because it was hidden by the swelling. So shame with all that money they bring in. You think they could afford an X-ray machine?
Yeah, you would think so, but unfortunately, yeah. So I ended up tying that week, but had I started Yelich, Jeff, I would have won 9-3.
Ooh, that's a big turn.
He would have flipped 3 offensive categories for me. But hey, you win some, you lose most of them.
Yeah. And Peeps, Contreras is not looking like the player he was last year. Maybe he will.
Maybe. All right, well, now let's officially begin our SSP Thursday showcase with the account we always like to start with, Jeff, and that is, of course, Homer Dome cards.
Yeah. There were a couple nice Cabreras we saw today, and this was one of them.
Yeah. I think the other one you're thinking of was the throwback.
Oh, man, I love so many cool throwbacks.
Yeah, I know you're going to be all over some of those. But yeah, Homer Dome has done it again. This is just a Miguel Cabrera card I know exists, but I'd never seen like outside of a checklist before.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I was trying to figure out from the PSA number how recently this was graded or where he dug it up from. I couldn't figure it out. Yeah, an incredible card. Happy looking Miggy, which didn't happen quite as much in his later years with the Tigers.
Yeah, and honestly, it's a pretty svelte looking Miguel Cabrera as well. I noticed.
I didn't want to point that out, but yes, I kind of feel like that was probably a photo from the early years of his Detroit tenure. Yeah. That's like Triple Crown physique.
Yeah, but very cool. And I believe he says Pop 1 in his Pop 1 right there.
Yep.
But again, just another constant reminder: when a card's rare and cool, a PSA 8 is just fine.
Yes,
absolutely just fine.
We posted one of those ourselves, which we can
did.
Talk about later.
So there were some cool. I felt like there were a lot of opening day cards, Jeff, and a lot of heritage throwbacks.
Yeah.
Our good buddy Ephus Pitch shared this Mike Trout.
Yeah, a couple of these opening day Trouts showed up, and awesome.
Yeah, very, very cool stuff. This is just the older image variations from opening day. You see even less. I feel like the further back you go, the harder they are to find.
Yeah, in 2014. When was the first year of opening day SSPs?
13.
13? Yeah.
13.
A great card. Another bang up job by PSA naming it. Really went out on a limb there with glove.
I mean, it's tough because they're not wrong, but it's just
they're not wrong.
They could do a lot better. All right, I just want to, while I'm thinking about it, Jeff, I'm going to throw the trivia link. Do you want to tell people what we've got as a prize today?
Yeah, and 401k and beyond, opening day means Trout's not hurt yet, usually every season. So today we are going to be playing for an SP of your choice. Here's a couple of them to choose from. You can go ahead and make these bigger while you're pulling it up.
Yeah. Yep.
We got Derek Jeter holding the trophy. Recognize this guy, Mr. Lou Gehrig, the Iron Man.
That's his month.
Iron Horse. Right? Babe Ruth, taking a swing without a hat. And I like the guy behind him. Look at that. Or 2 Hall of Famers.
Yep.
The price of 1.
Yeah,
One
so
who tried to kill
fan,
the queen, and Wade Boggs, who ate a lot of chicken. There you go.
Yep. Yeah, Reed Gonsalski, they do that. The PSA names do add character. They give us something else to talk about, too. Because sometimes the names are just flat out entertaining, and sometimes they're educational, Jeff. We only know the word toke because of PSA. For better figures.
But I think it's took.
Is it?
I
No?
can't remember now.
I don't know. All right, there were two other opening day cards I wanted to briefly show here. This first one comes from KC Cards.
He sure tried, 401k. He sure tried to kill the
Oh.
queen.
That's a fantastic reference. One of the greatest baseball scenes in movie history. That whole 20 to 25 minute sequence is perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
Best umpire in movie history.
Yeah. Whoever put that together actually like knew baseball and loved it. So
yeah.
Oh wow, Fred is an angel with those glasses that looked like the same glasses my dad wore.
Yeah.
They're gigantic. Yeah. Oh.
Big
yeah. Yep. You can't hate on that mustache though.
This card, I could not believe how much red there was in this card.
Yeah, there's a lot of red, and this is one of the 3 Mookies that came up on eBay last week, and this is one of all of which set prices that certainly we were not expecting. But this one is cool. This is one you and I have never owned, never touched. It's very cool. I think, have we identified who the other guy is?
Peeps is asking if it's Moncada.
It might be Moncada, actually. That's a good call.
David O saying De Niro at the end of The Fan is the best movie. What a crazy movie, The Fan. Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, it had one of my favorite trash talks, one of baseball trash talks, when like he's watching his kid at Little League and the coach is throwing and he starts yelling, "Mix in some strikes." I took that with me to softball just to make sure everyone hates me. I think Castillo is the correct answer.
Yeah, it sounds
familiar.
familiar.
Think it's Castillo and not Moncada is what I think. Castillo is the guy.
Collecting checks.
Yep.
Standing there collecting checks, which is about what he was good at. Kyle G, Rhino Rider, absolutely. Got your email. The packages went out today. So if anybody, or not today, this week. So if anybody is waiting on a trivia, Blabbin' Trivia got a little backed up, but your prizes are in the mail. So yes, Kyle, I got it.
Stand by. And Celeste Dad, you have a package coming as well, I think.
Yes. Yes. Enrico Palazzo, that's exactly him. What was I going to... I didn't want to lose this comment.
Yes.
Thanks, Michael, for watching Blabbin'. We did a rookie card draft of Ellie De La Cruz. Michael's interested to know why you guys have no love for the radiating rookies. And to be honest, I don't have a lot of love for many inserts, so it was tough just to... We decided we had to pick an insert, but if you like them, go for them. I'm sure they're great.
Yeah, we all had a little bit of a... I just like how those spotlights look. And that was spitballing, I think. We did that draft, but
yes.
we get our apostrophe YouTube shows confused. Yeah. Okay, Tanner Klein. Other people are saying it's definitely Moncada, not Castillo. I saw some other people with some pretty strong evidence. So I guess we're gonna go with Moncada for now.
All right. Well, it was a much ballyhooed Red Sox prospect that didn't pan out in either case.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. Although one was traded for Chris Sale. He and Vaughn Grissom have that in common, don't they?
Yeah. Matt, I am not going to the National. A little too much going on here with the family this summer. Chris is still trying to get his way there.
To make it work. Yeah, trying to make it work. We will see. I know. Yeah, there's a lot of people I would love to see and some stuff I really want to do there. So we're gonna try to make it work. Can't finalize anything just yet. Oh, what a great question from Peeps, though. Do we think Mookie's WAR will surpass Trout's?
Yes. I believe it'll be, I believe it's inevitable now. I would not have guessed that even 3 years ago.
I love that you didn't even hesitate, Jeff.
Yeah. Especially playing shortstop and Trout's in right field.
Yeah. Sticking with opening day. This, I think, might have been my favorite image that I saw from an opening day card today. Yeah, Z-Dot, you're right. Moncada got you guys Chris Sale, and that got you one World Series ring. That's any trade that does that is worth doing. Ooh, Kag with 2 Ks, huh?
The Glutes of Steel has a couple strikeouts. He did get his first hit, I saw. Yeah, this is a great image.
I like this one a lot. There's a lot going on here. We got Kershaw. We got Machado as a Dodger.
Yep.
Definitely not a beloved Dodger, but a future Hall of Fame.
Not by Brewer fans.
Certainly not by Brewer fans, no. And not by Dodger fans either. I'm trying to think. I believe the person jumping on the left is Verdugo. We've got Matt Kemp getting real pumped and it looks like Chase Utley on the right there.
Definitely Utley. I see Verdugo. The number starts with a 6, so that
Yep.
makes sense. That checks
Yes.
out.
And I think the most fascinating part about this card, Jeff, 661 collectibles, writes it in the caption.
Okay.
They are celebrating a walk-off home run from my wife's favorite former Dodger, Chris Taylor.
Really?
Nice little side note there. I'm glad that 661 put it in the caption.
He probably didn't have a lot of those moments, so kudos to him.
No, he didn't have a lot of great Dodger moments. I certainly, Mets fans aren't going to like this card either with Utley, but Machado didn't have a ton of great moments either. But yeah, it's a real interesting group of long-time, short-time Dodgers right there.
Yeah, got Kershaw right in the middle.
And these rally time cards you never see. Like they are they're really hard to pull. You just rarely ever see them.
Gregory with a question about your wife. Did she cry when Taylor was released?
It's just no. I'm sure she chuckled a little bit, and then we did laugh, especially when the Angels immediately just jumped into the Dodgers dumpster and pulled Chris Taylor out and threw him right into like left field 2 days later.
Clean up. No,
yeah, it's almost like when the Braves cut Orlando Arcia, Jeff, and like 72 hours later, he was the designated hitter for the Colorado Rockies. Just
but I'm glad to see the Rockies brought Keston Hiura up. I'm very excited. Hopefully they give him a nice long leash there at first base.
Has he played at all?
Yeah. He played the first 2 games he was up. Then he had a game off. Then he played another game. I think they won the first 3 games he played in or something. So lucky charm.
That would be amazing, right? They just go on a run, win like 15 out of 20 or something.
Crazy Cryptids said Taylor did have that walk-off that eliminated the Devil Magic cards in 2021. I don't remember that, but great.
I know he had a big game against the Braves, I think, in one of the LCS matchups too. Maybe that's why my wife always hated him. But anyway, let's talk about some heritage throwbacks, Jeff. Start with this one.
Yeah.
That is.
Now, this is great. This is one I'm kind of surprised hasn't found its way into your collection yet, Chris.
Well, it came up on eBay, and I knew Ben. I don't want to call myself a hero, Jeff, because hero is such a strong word. But this card popped up on eBay, and I sent the listing right to Ben because I know this was very high on his list of like wants and needs, and he was the fast. I think I heard the BIN. I think I heard him smash that bin from across the country.
What a guy! I gotta say, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I'm a Freeman collector for the people, Jeff.
Yeah, hopefully, if you're paying close attention, you paused your screen because yes, that was a Chris Glutz sighting.
Yeah, it's a little smaller on the computer screen than normal. Yes, Shelly. Yeah, I think that was the year that they won. I think it was 2021. I think he had a 3-homer game that sent the series back to Atlanta, I think.
Hey, what's up, Jay Marble? Well, that was really nice of you to pass this one along instead of buying it and then charging them double.
The thought did cross my mind, Jeff.
Yeah.
But, like I said, the word hero gets thrown around, and I certainly wouldn't want to put that sort of label on me.
Yeah, you got to accept it, though, in this case. What a great shot. Love the old uniform, the baggy. Looks like some heavy wool that he's wearing there. He's got the Rex specs on.
Yeah, the glasses get me.
Yeah. Oh, Filmington's rewinding to catch the glute scene. Thankfully, he was clothed from the waist down, unlike usual, probably.
Well, yeah, I mean, there are certain days.
A wise person, Jay Skrilla, might think would be the time to list Keston, but maybe it's a good time to buy. Never a bad time to buy Keston Hiura cards.
Is there? You'd have to think the time to list Keston Hiura was in like early 2020, but yeah. Who knows? A hot streak could be always right around the corner. Yeah. Always right around the corner.
Yeah, or off season 2019. ATL Jeff Black. Yeah, a lot of throwbacks are being phased out, just like the cards are.
Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, maybe the Braves should try this.
This is an Atlanta Crackers uniform.
Honestly, this is what they should stick the Braves in. They should make them wear stuff like this, these heavy flannel, until they start playing better.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
They're mostly rare to answer this question.
Oh, yeah.
Peeps. Heritage throwbacks in line with flagship SSPs. Mostly they're rare. Some of them are almost more like the SSPs that Top occasionally throw in flagship.
Yeah, these are really, really tough cards. I don't think the print run on these is anything more than like 25 or 30.
Yeah.
I believe this is the only copy graded of this Freddie Freeman card. And it's not like he was a nobody in 2014.
No. Doesn't surprise me, though. Just, again, I wonder how many of these got lost to boxes of commons, lost to the dustbin of history. What's up, Dustin? Yeah, Crazy Cryptids. Keston call up Rockies winning a series. I called Scott immediately after they won the series and told him that was the reason. But I believe he's still looking for another team.
Yeah, I just feel like if you were opening up this box in 2014, there's nothing about this card that would necessarily stop you in your tracks for you to realize, hey, this is really different. Especially
right. Unless you've opened up a ton of them and seen all the other Freddie cards, then maybe it would have stuck out to you. But
if you're not a Braves fan, I don't know how much attention you were paying to a Freddie Freeman card to begin with. I mean, he wasn't a nobody, but he wasn't a superstar.
And this was well before breaking, which is when you'd think more of these would get recognized.
Right. I did Snake Plissken with an interesting question here. We're not going to say it in a Plissken voice, but who's the safest to invest in? Right, like I would comfortably say, Jeff, there's no one safe.
No. I mean, by the time that they look like they're doing well, they're probably already expensive. Yes, there's reasons besides failing out of baseball that you can lose money in cards. Yeah, look at Wander.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. It's got to be a personal choice who you enjoy watching playing, and I would not invest more than you're willing to lose.
Yeah,
I think be a Keston instance too.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the only real answer to that question is Ohtani.
Yeah,
and we almost found ourselves in a very tricky spot, 16 months ago with him. So I don't know. He feels the safest, but that doesn't mean anything, unfortunately. That's probably who Jeff and I are most comfortable putting money into. Yeah,
to me, it's right now. It seems like Ohtani and Judge and everybody else. Carlisle says, "I consider myself a Freeman PC collector, like you, Chris, and I don't recollect this card at all."
I wasn't ripping packs in 2014. I wish I was, but yeah, I don't know. This seems like the kind of thing I might not have understood what it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
But these are cool. I wonder if we'll ever see another one. I don't know. I also want to say, the battery says, I've learned that denial is a very effective way to cope with today's loss. What brand of whiskey is denial? I've not been able to find a bottle of that here.
More than just a river in Egypt.
Yes. Cardaholic, I think, sums it up nicely. Collect who you like. Yeah. Don't let the masses sway you one way or the other. Merrill looks great. Armstrong looks great. Who was the third person he mentioned? I don't remember. Merrill, Wood, Caminero. I mean, they all look really good. Those guys all look good. Of those three, I will say, I think I like James Wood the most.
I do as well, because you know how much the hobby loves a big power hitter. And if the Nationals can ever make anything of themselves again, he's going to be leading the charge.
Yeah. Yeah. They've got a really nice young core.
A couple more throwback comments. Jeremy's tossing out the 2024 Heritage Cunha as being a great image. I can't picture that off the top of my head.
I can't picture it either. Huh.
All right. Well, we'll have to look into that. And JB Cards is right. I don't think the early years had the throwback on the back to verify. I think the majority of the years did not. Maybe somebody can verify that, but I think the majority of the throwback years did not have it written on the back.
Yeah, I believe you are correct. I just wanted to find. There it was. I should have known that. I'm a little bit behind in gathering Instagram posts today. It's been a hectic day. Yesterday was my mom's 83rd birthday.
Oh, congratulations. Did you do anything fun?
We did. We went out for steak last night, and then tonight my sister came over with 3 of her 4 kids. So we just had, we had a party in their in their apartment. And before I knew it, it was like 8:30, 8:45. But
Yeah, getting ready to start a blabbing.
Always, getting ready to blab. When you're drinking with your family, time really does fly.
Before I talk about this card, I'll be distracted once I get talking about it. But Carlisle says, speaking of Atlanta Crackers, he has the entire 13-card team set from the 1910 T210 Old Mill cigarettes. It's impressive. That's impressive.
That is impressive. That's very cool.
And Doc's back on the field. Congratulations.
All right.
Winning with a walk-off single. Excellent. All right. Now this card probably was my favorite one I saw today. I just love everything about this card.
Yeah, you're a big fan of that Expos uni.
Love the Expos road jersey. Soto running. Thin Soto running. I don't know. Just the design, the card design with the black border. Really cool. Just love it.
Jeff, you have the 2020 flagship SP of this,
Correct.
right? A similar image, or
yes, with him in the Expos, yes.
Okay, hold on.
But it's not as cool as this or as rare as this. And
true.
Does he mention in there what the pop is on this?
Let me take a quick look.
He used to, Unier. He used to run. This was before that big contract for sure.
Yeah, 3 steals, right? Okay, so there are 10 of this Juan Soto at PSA.
Yeah, Jeff Black. It's crazy that it gemmed with that black border.
Yeah, like legitimately, it makes you wonder if like a rarer card like this kind of goes through the machines a little bit less than the base cards.
Yeah, maybe they throw it in at a later step in the process, maybe.
Yeah, because I think that he mentions that there's only like, I want to say, 17 PSA 10s of all the throwbacks from that year, which still seems like a lot with those black edges and corners. The autos, you almost never see PSA 10s, which I have to appreciate.
No.
And yeah, battery. He's kept Soto's auto has been pretty consistent, hasn't it, Jeff?
It's been very consistent. Yeah, he's kind of the anti-Ohtani with all the changes. Yeah, and I believe this was taken during the championship season.
Should have been, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that was a really cool card to see. So I hope to see another one soon.
Yeah, that Expos logo is immediately recognizable from anyone who watched baseball, or for anyone who watched baseball in the 80s and early 90s.
Yeah, especially towards the end of their run, I might say, or like in that 94 season. They had so many good young players.
Yep. Yeah, so many great young players from those Expos teams went on to other teams and, had Hall of Fame careers. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, what am I missing one here?
Holmes with a callback to our latest spitballing episode. Was that Soto witnessed by a Topps representative? Well, this one didn't have to be because it is a reprinted auto, but
my goodness.
And it makes you wonder with what's been going on with Topps, how many were actually witnessed by a representative and who that representative was.
Oof. Yeah, Jay Marble, they did. Yeah, Randy Johnson, Larry Walker, they sure did look great in those uniforms. And they absolutely would have won that division for sure. The Braves were not going to catch them. His brother, Unier, that's really funny. I did want to point out, occasionally, Jeff, a variation SP or SSP gets posted that not only have I not seen in the checklist anywhere, but I've straight up just never seen it before. And we had an example of this today. And for those of you who don't know, I have I have no life. So I am frequenting image galleries for these variation cards. So when I stumble upon one I haven't seen before, it's really fun. So I'm going to show you guys which card that was. And he might actually be in our chat right now. But I'm talking about this post from Unier's card.
That's exactly what I was thinking of. Exactly. Yes, Delano DeShields, Marquise Grissom. They had a bunch of studs there.
Yeah.
Rock Reigns and Dawson earlier. Yeah. So what is this, Chris?
This is from 2010. They have these, there's a lot that their SP or image variation. You can call them whatever you want. They're incredibly rare. I think they were probably just SPs then. But walk-off cake celebrations, I guess, were a thing in baseball that year.
Like a pie in the face type
the face, yeah. Pie. I was saying cake. I don't know why. Oh, I just ate cake. That's probably why. But Yeah, so there's like the coolest one is Steven Strasburg by a mile. I'll pull up an image of that to show you guys.
I didn't put that together. This is also with that Strasburg.
Yeah.
Or
I
that
have seen the A-Rod card on the left with the reporter. I've
Yeah,
never seen the
at
one on the
first
right.
glance, it looks like he has his hand on her ass.
It does. It really does. It really, really does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You wonder if they cropped it the way they did. But the one on the right, the close up with that, I'm assuming that's his tongue out. Never seen this one before. So this was very cool. Oh, Unier, yeah, this was a great post. I was very excited to see this. Do you have? I'm hoping he has them all, but I'm not sure. Maybe we'll see them all as the SSP Thursday months go by, Jeff.
Didn't he say it was like 12 or 13
Yes.
of them? Yeah.
Hold on. Let me pull up the Strasburg real quick so you guys can see what I was talking about.
Yeah, Will's the A-Rod's just doing a glue check.
Yep.
Do your research. That's right. Yeah. Unier said Strasburg was inserted afterwards, and it was like a redemption. So that one's even rare.
Yeah. This is a haunting baseball card.
Yes. This has come up a few times on Blabbin' episodes when we talk about card images. You just don't know what's going on there.
There's so much going on. This is a card. It makes me just when Steven Strasburg is obviously a great what if, for baseball. He did, dominate the postseason, World Series MVP, flags fly forever. But if he was a Hall of Famer, Jeff, I would love to see what this card would command, like today.
Yeah.
Because it's so weird and so like visually interesting. It stands out, from every other card of his that we've ever seen. Yeah, battery. It is disturbing.
This is what I was thinking. Yes. It's like the Ronald Reagan mask on the beach.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
V for Vendetta. Michael Elvis Myers. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so cool. And I feel like, had he been like, if he'd had Verlander's career, this might be like $1,000 card, a $1,500 card.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know what this means, crazy cryptids. Strasburg was a boss in Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest.
Castlevania was a computer game. I'm not sure what Castlevania 2 was.
Free horror movie with a stranger in the woods. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it does look. Yeah. I mean, yeah. At some point, I'm going to break down and just spend the money to buy this card because I need one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Throw it on eBay for silly prices, or it seems like silly prices, but then they sell. So obviously the demand's out there.
Unier said he was a pitcher, never walked it off, so maybe that's why it was more rare.
Yeah.
Oh yes, it was a video game. I remember it on on the computer, like a Apple IIe or whatever we had in the late 80s.
All right. Well, let's not put ourselves make ourselves look even.
I was only 3 when I was playing the Apple IIe.
There you go.
King Baldwin the Fourth.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So that was great. Unier, thanks for showing those A-Rod cards today. That was very cool.
Yeah, those are really cool. I want to know. I hold on. He may have said so in his post, but I'm just curious what the pops are on those. What the PSA pops are, but I will look those up. And I saw that our good friend Bullseye Breaks, first one to comment, as she always is. She's never seen that one before. They are amazing. All right, well, on to someone who didn't cheat and embarrass himself and really sully the name of baseball and just be a giant ass. Let's talk about this really cool Tariq Skubal card.
The only thing I can think of when I see this card, besides it being awesome and a crotch shot, is how tiny they made the font that year.
Yeah.
You can't see the name. Even the rookie card logo is small. It's just a very weird design choices.
Yeah, 2021 was like the crappiest design and the crappiest rookie class too. Outside of this gentleman, obviously Skubal, who has turned himself into the best pitcher in baseball.
Yeah. Yeah, great card. How rare is this one? Does he go into it? I like how Maddie's post talked about the areas in the hobby which he was targeting. So if you haven't read his post, it's a great read through there just to kind of see how he's been able to sift through all the cards that are coming out to what he likes.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. He does a great job of, that's a good point. Thank you, Jeff, of explaining sort of his thought process and what led him to this card versus some other parallels and other sets. which is always nice to see what other collectors are thinking.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Yeah. And honestly, Jeff, it's nice to know that we are thinking sometimes.
Yeah, you never know.
You never
You
know.
never know when you look at collectors. So
Yeah, Wilsey, yes. This story is just unbelievable. I don't know. Mookie and Freddie Freeman getting into these mishaps in their homes, it's concerning. I mean, they're not. Mookie's 32, Freddie's 35. We should be able to navigate the shower and going to the bathroom without breaking bones.
I'm just so glad that it didn't end up being like a 4-week situation with Mookie. That's what I was afraid of at first. It's like, So thankfully he's back. And
yeah, if you guys watched, as I'm with my parents and my dad, I watch all the Dodger games here. But Andrew Anderson, I like where you're going with this. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, with the new pants, this would be a serious
good call. Yeah.
Yeah, Mookie's first at bat, he got a base hit, and then Freeman hit one to the corner. So on that broken toe, Jeff, Mookie had to sprint all the way around the bases, and he appeared to have no issues.
Whew. Yeah.
And I saw there was an interview with Dave Roberts. He said he was hoping it would be like a reset for Mookie. And first game back, he was great. Second game back today, like he was really good again. So maybe this take a few days off, clear your head, think about how much your toe hurts, get back to baseball.
I'm right there with you, Matt, except we're not highly paid athletes. Yeah.
I mean, Jeff and I have both been hurt in some pretty ridiculous and preposterous ways. We could show you a picture of the blister Jeff got from weeding in his backyard.
Oh,
but
it's
about nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
My goodness. It was like a golf ball growing out of his hand.
It was a reaction from the sunlight on the weed juice on my hands. So don't weed.
Yeah, don't just think you can go out there and rip a plant out of the ground in broad daylight and not suffer repercussions.
Kind of like Little Shop of Horrors. I was being attacked by the plants. And Tanner, don't get me and Chris started on Dylan Carlson.
Yeah, buddy, me too. I made a couple trades. I still have a stack of Christian Pache rookies from 2021. Yeah, right with Dylan Carlson, and but that's how we learn. And our journey was similar to Matty H here, except we just stopped buying as many cards. Oh, putting a sock on. Mother Nature fights back.
That's true.
Ooh, yeah. Forbidden Donut. This sums it up pretty nicely. You just never know what's going to happen. Jeff hops on the treadmill, runs a mile, no problem whatsoever. Opens his car door wrong.
Although I do have to tell you, Chris, it was a little scary today. I was at the gym running my mile, and I was on a record pace for me. It was like I was going the fastest I've ever went, and the treadmill stopped. Backfired. No. Yes. So I saw my life flash before my eyes, but I didn't want to lose my record time. So I just jacked it back up and went, and it did it again. And then I thought, all right, well, time to get off.
Good Lord. I mean, yeah, that's nerve-wracking. I'm surprised you didn't just launch yourself over the treadmill.
Well, it's or being launched backwards. It kind of felt like I was being launched backwards. It was a mess. Will's with some investment advice here by Jack Caglione here at these prices of steel. We talked a little bit about this on Spitball and how he's seen his prices increase dramatically since early in the season. So if any of you bought him in the off season, now a sell would be good.
Yeah. By the way, go ahead, Jeff.
I just want to say my Harris stash is slowly turning to Jason Hayward. I kind of feel like that on my fantasy interest in Michael Harris.
There should be, unless you get defensive run saves, unfortunately. I think he's still saved more runs than he has cost us on offense, but it's ugly. It's really, really ugly. I just want to throw out what this movie quote from SFO Sox fan, and I want someone to tell me I know what it's from. If someone out there can tell us who, I'm just curious. I feel like there's a lot of crossover in our viewers, but I want to know movie and or actor. It's a great line delivered by a guy.
This sounds so familiar.
Night Train, yes. Doc's Cards, yes.
Yeah.
Good job. Okay. Yeah. John Goodman just screaming. Yeah. I want to go back. I strained my hamstring thinking about exercising right now. Yeah. A friend of ours actually spent 2 months before softball season getting into the best shape of his life. He was stronger on opening day of our softball season that he'd ever been. And he took one swing in a game and like partially tore his oblique and sat out for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So he was in his 30s, Jeff. His 30s.
Yes, he's still young. There's no reason for that.
Oh, there's some great, I'm getting some great quotes here. Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. We could just go through Big Lebowski quotes all day. Not saying we shouldn't. Okay. Let me throw this card up here. We have talked about this card before. I like it. I think it's a little small here. I apologize if I had a nickel.
Yeah.
This is one of the few Aaron Judge SSPs, Jeff, that our Blabbin co-host, co-star Jake and I both agree is
It's
very
rare.
cool. Yeah.
It's rare that you agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like this card a lot.
These are extremely rare too.
Yes. Yeah. The 2025s are real tough to pull. I think this, there's no 10s yet, according to this post, only 2 9s. It's just great. We got 2 Yankee legends, one of whom I have to admit, we talked about it before. Jeter's shaved head here it's rough.
It's a little alien-esque. Yes, we've talked about that.
Yes.
But you got 2 captains there.
Yeah. In front of that wall of Yankee signatures. Like,
Yes.
I think it's great. It's a little bit of, I'm glad. I feel like if they were both just smiling at the camera, it would lose something. So it's kind of a candid of them talking, you know?
Yeah, I remember when it came out and there were a few people that were upset about that, not just the alien Jeter, but that they were just standing there. But I thought it was pretty cool. And I remember we could even read some of the names. I can't with my current eye situation on there, but you could read some of the names on that wall, which is pretty cool.
Yes, this one was posted by Yankee Doodle Dandy Cards. I would request a larger image next time, maybe zoom in a bit. But yeah, we talked about this card maybe a month ago, right at release.
Yeah.
I think someone said that someone compared Derek Jeter's body here to that of Roger, the alien from American Dad, the sitcom on Fox. And I went back and I looked, and that is a spot on. Like that commenter absolutely nailed it. So I forget who it was, but in hindsight, they did a great job there.
Jeter reminding us why there should be no cards with Mookie having no hat or helmet. Night Train says, I'm really wondering how this design is going to look in chrome. A true chrome dome.
Yeah.
For sure.
Crazy Cryptids. I love a good Simpsons reference. And yes, Jeter does look a bit like Hans Moleman here. Maybe less wrinkly, a little more sweaty. But it's like kissing a peanut. Homer, I want that thing out of my house. I don't do a great Marge.
That sounded good.
That's
From
not bad.
the one episode I've seen, that was a good Marge. Will Z says, problem with baseball and softballs, it's 2-stop start. Fine when you're in your 20s and maybe 30s. After that, you're playing Russian roulette with your hamstrings if you sprint to first. Yes.
Well, the key is to
your shoulder.
Yeah, the key is to just get a base hit and sort of jog to first, and then look to your dugout to see who in their 20s wants to come out and run for you.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, one of our Wednesday team, I don't think we have anyone in their 20s anymore, Jeff.
Yeah, we're all starting to get. Yeah. Well, once they start looking to us to be the runner, then we'll know it's
right. Yeah. Yep. And people do love softball. Our good friend Kai there is currently playing on like a partially torn MCL, I think, but she's still out there.
Is that true? Oh,
Won't
man.
be deterred by just constant knee pain.
Careful.
Yeah. Goodness
Well, you're
knows.
tougher than 90% of the major leaguers.
For sure. And she's got better toes than Mookie Betts. I'll tell you that much right now. Okay. There was a comment here. Hold on. Ha! Yeah, SFL Sox fan. That's a good point there. Topps has to be aware of how certain players look without headgear. But, you know.
Forbidden Donut says they're discussing the proper level of scented candles to put in their gift baskets. I believe Judge is a happily married family man, which Jeter was not during his playing days, and yeah, famous for his gift baskets.
Yes.
This is also a good strategy if you can do it.
Yeah, he's playing chess while we're all playing checkers for sure. All right. Huh. Okay, hold on. Yeah, ATL Jeff Black. I played on a team that was very much like this. I was like 33 at the time, and I was the oldest guy on the team. I never had to run the bases. By the time I got to first or second or wherever I stopped, there was some like 22-year-old running out, like in
Already out there. Look
Yeah.
at you like next to him, like, oh, how'd you get there?
Yeah. Go get a drink. Go get a drink. I'm like, oh, all right.
Go
They
get a
didn't even
drink,
need
Grandpa.
beer. Yeah, he just meant water. Try to keep me hydrated out there, which I really appreciated. But generally, Jeff, I like cards like this. I like to see 2 players on an SSP, especially 2 players as prominent as these 2 are. I think it's a really great idea.
Yeah.
Like the Julio Ichiro card.
Agreed.
Yeah. Or the Wade Boggs, Reggie Jackson right there. I think it's great.
Yeah. Love it.
They can be hit or miss, though. Like we saw the Jason Dominguez rookie at a Chrome update. I think his SP was with him and Juan Soto. So that one was a swing and a miss, which is a weird choice, Jeff, when Aaron Judge is right there under contract.
Right there. Right there. Yeah.
You know, is what it is.
So everybody, just a quick reminder to get in on trivia. We're going to play at about 7 o'clock.
Yep. But we got a couple of SPs to give away, or a nice SP to give away. So I shouldn't say a couple. We're not made of SPs here. Yeah, let me get the link in there one more time.
Forbidden Donut played 1 game with no cleats, took a wrong step, pulled my groin, called it a career. Knew it was time to hang the jersey and the Raptors after that.
Oh.
I get it. A groin pull is no fun either.
No, that just takes forever to heal. Like every step you take, like it's just
forever. You're walking in slow motion for a good 6 weeks at least.
Yeah, it's terrible. When your groin is injured like that, you realize how often it just like slightly just moving your legs when you're sitting.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right, hold on. What do we got next? Oh no. Evan G, that is this is brutal. Something very similar happened to a friend of ours. He tore his ACL like a week before he and his family were going to Hawaii. And then the doctor screwed up the surgery. And he is still, we're on like 2 years, about the official 2-year anniversary, and he still has a cane. And I don't know. I don't know where we are, but it's terrible. Kaiser Permanente is probably not.
He tore it in the on deck circle. You forgot to mention.
Yeah, that's right. He fully tore. You're right. He did. He initially injured it, I guess, in the outfield, stepping in a mole hole, and then finalized it. Yes, officially. Yeah. Oh, crazy cryptids. I mean, you're with the Mole Man references all day. How many Hans Mole Man references can we get on one show, Jeff? Considering you don't know who that is.
No, I don't know who that is. But now every time I see Jeter, I'm going to think of this Hans Mole Man.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture at some point.
All right.
Okay. All right. Well, speaking of Yankee SSPs, I want to talk about this one too.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay. And what do we have? Yeah. Yeah. Just iconic moment. Capture on a card. Very, very cool. No autos, unfortunately. But this is just a great 2020 update. They did this with black and white imagery for these legends. And then it makes the color on the nameplate and the team there really jump out.
And especially, I'm glad you pointed that out. It's almost like a pseudo Independence Day type feel. It's almost like a American flag with this black and white on the rest. It's just a really striking use of that design, and to have it the name on the side like that, the horizontal picture, I think it's great.
Yeah, excellent use of the horizontal. And I feel like it's a moment we're all extremely familiar with. And I think we could you hear the words kind of echoing in your head, similar to a David Ortiz card, but obviously more somber. Well, equally, maybe similarly somber.
Yeah.
ATL Jeff Black, I'm sorry to hear that, but it is nice to have little things that remind us periodically.
Meeks appreciates your no autos.
Yeah, I couldn't help but sneak that one in there. Hold on. Okay.
The sad thing is, I don't know if this is satire or true. That's just one of those things that when you see the way that Stanton runs around the bases, brushing teeth when getting hurt brushing teeth wouldn't be hard to believe.
No, and honestly, especially with his elbows, and honestly with biceps like that, you never know when they're just going to rupture. And I'd also be afraid, Jeff, he would brush his teeth clean out of his mouth.
Yeah,
like,
right out.
You got to hold back, with arms like that.
A nice first little nugget drop by Cardboard Showcase. Loves the 2020 Update Legends SSP set. Built the whole run in PSA 10s.
He sure did. Yeah, I think we actually posted that. We talked about it at some point. But it's nice to see a close-up of the Garrett card, because that's definitely the best one.
Carlos says, I've been told that in prior to the Yankees, they used Garrett's actual speech as the echo when Gary Cooper recreated. I hadn't heard that. That would be very cool if they did that.
That is very cool. I will say, and we're not going to show it. Norm Macdonald has been mentioned on our show many times because Jake doesn't care for him. I think the reason Jake doesn't like Norm Macdonald is because Norm Macdonald on SNL did a parody of this moment, and it's a difficult moment to parody because it is very serious and very somber. But if you haven't seen that and you like kind of dark humor, I would give that a watch on YouTube. It's a short thing, like kind of in between commercial breaks, like a pre-recorded thing, and it's funny, but it's if you like Norm Macdonald, you'll think it's funny. If you don't, maybe don't watch it. But I think it's why Jake doesn't like him. All right, so since Cardboard Showcase is here, I was going to get to this one next. Anyway, timing is great.
Yes.
I did not know Topps had 3 Babe Ruth SSPs in 2020.
I did not either.
I've seen the top right. That one's out of update. And I've seen the bottom one with all the balls because that makes me think of Rodney Dangerfield in, in that game, that movie where he coaches girls soccer, Ladybugs. But I had not seen this one on the top left with the close-up of him signing balls in what appears to be a jungle somewhere.
Yeah, what's with the jungle theme? Was it a spring training? It's rare to see color pictures of Babe Ruth, so it's striking when you see color and then you see a bunch of green behind him.
Yeah, right. But these are very cool. I feel like there just aren't that many great shots of Babe Ruth, especially like Jeff said in color, and that one's pretty great. When he signs his baseball, that just makes me think of the Sandlot.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and it's a lot of fun to see them all together. And this is for modern card collectors. This is a lot of our what we get for greats because we don't dip our toes into that early stuff, pre-war stuff, and or what like Gaudy sets. That Babe Ruth
that vintage, that really early vintage stuff. I mean, Jeff and I don't know enough about it. We need to get
so it's fun to see rare cards of these guys now. So
and it's especially fun when there's real interesting photos. Someone in the chat, sports guy Corey, mentioned that Gehrig also has that fly fishing card. So I feel like this is sort of a way to get some really cool old photos of these legends that otherwise would just kind of not see the light of day.
Yes, exactly. And mostly candid, like we've been talking about, mostly off the field or, the fly fishing one's great. I know there's a Babe Ruth, one of them driving a gigantic car.
Yes. Yeah, I think there's a couple
or something.
Ones. Yeah, there's some cool ones that just pop up in stadium clubs sometimes too. But
yeah,
when you get these like the black and white ones, I don't know. Something has been cool about that with the rest of the card having the color. But man, I have questions about a lot of the locations. Like this bottom one here with that that wood on the wall. Like where are they? They signing all these balls.
Looks like an office of some sort. Looks like the president's office. What are they doing there?
Michigan Cards and Graphs. That is hilarious. Yeah. Absolutely designated Topps representatives, making sure that those relics are being properly signed. Yes, Babe Ruth on the golf course. That's another good one. A couple people, M. Parsons, David O. Yeah, it was Ladybugs.
Meeks recognized that it's his parents' basement, obviously.
Yep, for sure. Well, you might want to go down and check behind that wood for some baseballs back there. Yeah. Yes, every grandparent's basement in the 1980s.
So Mike says the top left is like the close-up portrait SSPs in 2020 Series 1. Bunch of legend SSPs with close-up images too. Very cool.
All right, well, Cardboard Showcase, you've got 2 months to finish that set, and then we're going to want to see it on SSP Thursday, and we'll give you till September.
Okay, September. Right. That's
I think that's fair. I know he's probably well on his way to it already. Looks like a Howard Johnson's. That is like the most, like late 80s, early 90s thing I can imagine.
And then that was always so confusing to me as a kid when Hojo, the baseball player, was out there. I'm like, so he plays baseball and also owns a bunch of hotels?
Yeah, how could this not be him?
Yeah.
They had a flavor of ice cream at Howard Johnson's that my mom was obsessed with, and she couldn't find the exact combination. It was called Vanilla Royale. And it was vanilla. It was basically vanilla fudge. It was like vanilla with chocolate swirl in there, but it was a specific type of chocolate, and it was always different everywhere else. And she would always get it and complain and like just reminisce fondly of Howard Johnson. So I feel like we ended up staying at those motels way more often.
I was going to ask. Yeah. Peep says 2020 flagship might become legendary in many ways. It sure is nice seeing these 2020 flagship SSPs.
Yeah, there was I don't think I have it up here yet, but there's that David Ortiz from Update that someone shared, and it said special assistant as his title. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, the Hojo restaurants in the Mets colors. Yes, that was extra confusing. But then imagine my surprise when I found out he had, what was that, an 83 Fleer card of him on the Tigers?
Yes.
Hojo? Yeah.
Yep. Good memory, Jeff.
Yeah, thank you. I remember that card.
I mean, he should have been, right? I mean, we got George Foreman grills. I mean, why couldn't we have a Howard Johnson line of motels?
Yeah, right. As if a Sox fan said they turned a Hojo into a retro hotel right outside Fenway. Pretty cool music themed place. Now I can imagine that the retro nature of a Howard Johnson's would be like a $1,000 a night place.
Yes, absolutely. With memorabilia, with just only Howard Johnson memorabilia around.
Yeah. How many things can he sign?
Yeah. All right, I'm going to put the trivia link in there one more time. We got a pretty good turnout in there. It can be better though, guys. So we're giving away an SP of your choice. We got 4 options from Jeff.
Options. Get in there, guys. So does that mean did Hojo win titles in 84 and 86?
I don't know.
He was on that 86 Mets team, wasn't he?
I don't know if he was. I'm not sure he was there then. I don't know when he showed up with the Mets. We could look this up.
I thought he had an 86 Topps card. Evan G says yes.
Okay, well then there you go. Yep, Evan G says he won both. Yep, 2 rings for Hojo. Okay.
Yeah, Hojo. Well, I mean, all the more reason they should be. The hotel chain should be hiring him
For sure. Some of his 86 Mets teammates, sold their rings and stuff, possibly to pay gambling or other governmental debts that they might have incurred. I'm thinking of Dykstra specifically.
Yeah.
But yeah, AB8 Hobbies 2020. Yeah, it's an absolute gold mine. Someone had said in the comments, I think it was Doc's Cards, that he was debating starting to buy cases of 2020 Series 1 to try and
Just
get
for
that
the judge.
card.
Just for the judge, he was saying, but
buddy, I just don't think that's the way to go. I mean, that card is like it's got to be one in like 50,000 packs, if not more. If you pulled it, though, it would be absolutely epic. You buy one case, it's in the first box. That'd be amazing.
Then sell the rest.
Yeah, but I mean, something's gotta pop up. I mean, at the rate he's going, one of those should come up for sale somewhere relatively. Because that one, what auction house was that one, Jeff? That sold like a month ago. I think it was a 7 that sold for like $1,100, but
it was a very obscure auction house, and I said to the chat, why would somebody send it there? People like us who'd be interested and didn't even know it was up for auction.
Yeah.
It was Forbidden Donut. It was you that bought it?
Was me? LOL. Was that? See, I get confused when people have different names. Yeah, I think, Jeff, do you have ours like within arm's reach right now?
I don't.
Okay, don't worry about it. AJ, yeah, we're talking about. I got a picture of it. Hold on. We're talking about this guy.
Get it.
Yeah, let me just pull it up real quick, and then we'll get to trivia. I need the bathroom break anyway. As one can imagine, I got to find it on our page, Jeff. Good Lord. Ay.
Oh, you're gonna bring it up on the page? Okay.
Yeah, I was just gonna try to bring it up on. I could go to Jake's page.
I can get it during.
Yeah, you want to just grab it when? Well, you got to read trivia.
No, but I'll have my young assistant bring it up.
Ah, perfect. Okay, great. All right, yeah, let's just do that because Oh, there it is. I got it. All right. Woo! This guy.
Oh yeah, there he is.
So this is Series 1. It's an SSP. For whatever reason, PSA won't give it the third S, but it's the same. It's in the same group as the Trout Reverse Negative, the Rob Manfred, the Lewis Robert No Name, and the what's the other one? The Triple Rookie, the Jordan Bichette and Lewis Robert card. Woo!
Good memory.
How do I function?
Yeah, this would fit in nicely with the other Ruth cards.
Yeah. This card is great, and this was absolutely missed. And it's weird they did this because his 2019 season wasn't that great.
No,
it was obviously he was injured. I think
he was injured most of those years. Yeah,
most of those years. So I mean, it was a hell of a guess. And I feel like once he hit 62, this card suddenly became a lot more interesting.
Yeah. And recognizable, but very rare.
Yeah.
Timmy Two Hobbies asking if you've seen Carded. They have a funny story about Keith Hernandez signing his 84 Topps card. I can't trying to picture what he looked like on the 84 Topps.
Yeah,
Is it still
I can't.
Cardinals?
I
Still
can't
Cardinals.
picture it. Keith Hernandez. I think he was on the Mets by then, but I'm not 100% sure. I've seen that show a little bit, but Greg Amsinger, honestly, I don't know. It's starting to be a little much, but I do appreciate that he does collect. He does collect cards at least, so he does kind of know what he's talking about, which is nice. Forbidden Donut says same as the Mookie, and it's funny you should mention that because right before I keep putting off trivia, Jeff. But AK9 Collectors posted this bad boy in his story.
Oh my gosh! Come on!
What a card! What a
I
card!
didn't even see that today.
No?
I didn't even see that.
Very, very cool. It's got to be one of Mookie's absolute best cards. Oh, that's really funny. Yep. All right, I will find that. I'll go watch that episode of Carded. I think it's on the app, on the MLB TV app. I'll go find it because I would love to hear him talk about autographing these cards for people.
Signing across his arse.
What an absurd! I mean, we talk about today, Jeff, some crazy choices Topps makes, but man, this 84 Topps Keith Hernandez.
A weird profile looking back.
Like he's looking up at his own ass in the little box. Like his eye line is almost up at his own.
Yeah, what is he looking at? They actually show him signing himself. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to watch that.
This is the kind of card you'd think they would have brought up on Seinfeld.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, 83 Gwynn, totally. Yeah, 83 Gwynn.
Yeah, Gwynn had that base stealing booty, though. Keith Hernandez, pretty sedentary over there at first base. He did play a good first base, though.
Great defender. Great defender.
His his game, pretty boy.
All right, let's do this trivia.
Yeah, let's do this trivia. Sorry. Here we go. I'm getting right there. All right. Can we see it? No. Yes. All right, here we go. So if you caught our show last week, I was not here, but Jeff seamlessly ran trivia without me. There were no technical problems whatsoever.
You don't know if that's entirely true. I feel like there probably were. I just blocked them out.
I don't know. I think at some point you just I have to admit that I'm the problem. I'm the problem. It's me, I think, is the but anyway, yes, the shadows really do bring out the contours of those pants. All right, so let's do this.
All right.
Once again, you're playing for an SP. We have 4 options. Jeff can let you choose. Let the winner choose. So yeah, let's rock and roll here.
Let's do this. All right, guys.
We're gonna start this in 10 seconds. Here we go.
Okay, get those fingers ready. Be ready for some MVP questions. I wonder who's been studying.
Hopefully everybody or nobody.
Which of these players has won an MVP? Noma, Derek Jeter, Miguel Tejada, or Troy Tulowitzki? 4 excellent shortstops.
Yep. 1 Hall of Famer, 1 MVP.
Yeah. Some batting titles there. Okay, 29 people went with Miguel Tejada.
And they are correct.
81 points. Michigan Cards. Back on top. Let's see if we can get another one tied with Ali.
Yep.
Which of these players has won an MVP? Scott Rowland, Josh Donaldson, Nolan Arenado, or Manny Machado?
I think it's the least liked person on this list, Jeff. Does that sound right?
I believe it's Brewers legend, Josh Donaldson.
Oh, 58%. I like that. Yeah.
He kind of wore out his welcome in a lot of clubhouses.
Yeah, he had a great year for the Braves. He was a great 1-year signing, but then they made no attempt to bring him back.
They're like, thank you, take care.
Yep.
Which one of these players has won an MVP? Jim Edmonds, Josh Hamilton, Andrew Jones, Bernie Williams. A lot of good defense on that list and one really good guitarist. But who won an MVP of that group? 72% of you went with Josh Hamilton, which, as we've talked about many times, is a huge what-if story. What an amazing talent. Remember that first half of the season he had?
Oh, my God, yeah. And that home run derby performance? Incredible.
Yeah. Which one of these players has won an MVP? Was it Brian Giles, Brian Reynolds, Bobby Bonilla, or Andrew McCutcheon? I see a our matey Pirates theme here.
It's also possible I misspelled a name in there, but you know who I'm trying to get to. I think.
76% win with Andrew McCutchen, who has a great
All right.
Philadelphia Phillies SSP.
Yes, he does.
ADR collects at the top. Which one of these players won an MVP award? Garrett Anderson, Tim Salmon, Vladimir Guerrero, or Troy Gloss? The heyday of the
Right.
Angels. 38 people went with Vladimir Guerrero Sr. You are correct.
Bingo.
It's funny that Troy Gloss playing for the Savannah Bananas has more hits in Angel Stadium than what's his name? Anthony Rendon.
Ooh.
Extremely rare throwbacks like this Cabrera from what top set? Stadium Club, Heritage, Dynasty, or Opening Day? We've talked about this quite a bit already tonight.
Yeah, we definitely gave some hints during the show today to a couple answers, assuming that I selected the correct answer to be the correct answer, Jeff.
71% said Heritage. Heritage throwbacks, Michigan cards and graphs, opening up a lead.
Ooh.
We'll see, John.
We'll see.
What is David Price holding on this 2013 Topps Chrome SSP? A cooked turkey, a rabid cat, his dog, or a wombat? A wombat uses his glutes for protection, Chris.
Sure does. Rock hard glutes, Jeff.
Yep. Okay, we got a mix here, but 32 people went with his dog, and you would be correct. I think you guys know Chris pretty well. Clean cards.
A couple people said a cooked turkey, Jeff. I have questions.
Well, Aaron Judge shares his 2025 SSP with what alien-headed Yankee legend? Brett Gardner, Jorge Posada, Don Mattingly, Derek Jeter, or Hans Mollman?
Excellent memory, Jeff.
88% went with Derek Jeter. 31% cooked turkey. Was that
Yeah.
high?
Yeah,
I mean,
it
people
was.
must have been thinking John Madden, like the Thanksgiving Day, maybe.
I think they just hit the first.
Yeah.
Oh, it could. Ryan says he thought it could have been Thanksgiving related. Okay, all right, fair enough.
Who's the World Series MVP for the 2021 Atlanta Braves? Freddie Freeman, Jorge Soler, Dansby Swanson, or Max Fried?
I just
no
needed
love for any relievers, Chris?
I needed some Braves positivity in a question, Jeff.
Yeah. 52% went with Royals legend Jorge Soler. And you'd be correct. Is he playing on the Angels now? Is that where he is? Yeah. Clean cards. Ooh.
You can do it.
You could do it. Which Brewer player has not won an MVP? Robin Yount, Raleigh Fingers, Paul Molitor, or Ryan Braun? The Brewer MVPs there. Wow. Raleigh Fingers is getting the most votes, and he was incorrect. He won the 81 MVP, and Robin Yount won the 82 MVP. Clean cards 5, 775, an amazing high score.
All right. Well, we're just gonna have. I don't know why it's continuing, but
Which trivia question do you want to ask your audience?
Right. Yeah, we can
Is
just
it
stop
A?
it now.
Is it B?
Huh.
David Price and his cooked turkey sunk me. That's funny
There
that
we
you were trying to think of it, Chris, as just a throwaway answer. Your cooked turkey.
Yeah, it was.
Everybody went for the turkey. Everyone went for the turkey.
All right. Well, we can congratulate Clean Cards 5 was clearly the winner. I'm not sure where it's getting an 11th question from, but
At 775.
yes.
We've talked about this Forbidden Donut. This idea is in the hopper. We will we'll talk about it. We'll promote it before. Peeps guessed the Wombat.
It was
ATL Jeff Black only missed the last question.
All right. So congrats to Clean Cards 5, Jeff, who I think has been playing along since the early days of trivia.
Yeah.
And he has managed his first victory. So I'm excited. Cheers to you, Clean Cards 5.
Cheers to you. Let me know which one of these cards you want. 2 Hall of Famers there. Derek Jeter with hair. Lou Gehrig not giving the speech.
Nope.
Or Babe Ruth.
Yep. Yeah, after hours collector. Who's on the Braves trading block? I mean, I don't know who wouldn't be at this point. Like, there's something has to be done. It almost felt unfair. Like when the first notification I got after the game was that the Braves just DFA'd Scott Blewett, which to me felt like it's a little unfair. I would just DFA Iglesias. Like, he's done after this year anyway, but he's done. Like
Just send them both out of the locker room. Don't even board the team bus. Tanner says that's the second victory.
Second victory? All right. Well, congrats again. I take back my cheers, but congrats again. We do forget. Yeah. Ozuna and Sale, I think, would be the two guys. Ozuna has this is last year. Sale has an option for next year. So if they do want to blow it up a little bit, those two would make sense.
That's a great call. It does look like FDR. Maybe
He's
standing.
FDR. Was it FDR that threw out the first pitch of the game? Or was it someone before him? I think I'm not. Someone can look that up. But that does look like FDR.
That made it a tradition to throw out the first pitch.
And the timing would work, right? I mean, he was president in the 20s. Well, no, he was president of the 30s. So yeah, I mean, Babe Ruth
30s into the 40s, but this is before he was fully in a wheelchair, I believe.
Right. Yeah. So that would be like early 30s. So possible.
It does look like Ken Landis as well, but I think it would be too late for him because
I want to say Crazy Cryptid
out there already.
That is, I would not know Kennesaw Mountain Landis if you were him, Jeff. So I'm very impressed that someone possibly recognized him from the side behind Babe Ruth, out of focus.
Pictures of him show up in all those Black Sox documentaries. So he had it's George Washington. Yeah, it does look like that. Oh, Taft. Good call. Now that you say that, that sounds very familiar.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it could have been, Taft, but
Doc's trying to bring you. Yeah, this is definitely not Taft. Taft was very large and in charge.
Yes, he would have taken up a good chunk of the background of that card.
I believe somebody was trying to cheer you up with this, Chris. Let me find it. Profiles eligible to return at the end of this month. So there's that.
I mean, that's another guy too. Just release him. Just eat the money and be done with it. I tell you what a day, Jeff. Not only was that box terrible, the Braves season imploded, or what was left of it imploded, and somehow there was a technical difficulty on trivia on my return to trivia.
At least it was at the end.
Well, that's true. It was at the end that I caught it fast enough to be able to at least pause it.
Yeah.
It could be Keith Richards. It could be Nicolas Cage. I mean, it could be Paul Rudd. Who knows? A lot of guys don't age. Not
Vampires.
A good call. I Googled.
Well, it's still a good call. Good,
right,
John.
Right.
John. I would have had to Google too, but if you would have given me those options, I would have guessed Taft. It's Taft post Ozempic. Yeah.
Well, Depression era Taft. Maybe he couldn't afford as much food, but probably not.
This sounds like a logistical question for Chris. Is it harder to release a player when a club is part of a public entity?
I don't think so. I really don't think so. I don't know why it would be exactly. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. It didn't occur to me. So I'm going to say no, but I'm not sure.
Adam rubbing a little salt in the wound, asking if it's would help to bring him. It couldn't hurt. Couldn't hurt. It
could actually. He's horrible. He's just.
Could he
horrible.
be any worse though? Could he be any worse? Bring him
Verdugo,
in.
Verdugo has 0 home runs. So I guess
0.
Yeah, I guess it could be. It couldn't be worse.
Sports guy Corey. Speaking of Bartolo Colon, my favorite chase card ever was the 2021 Panini Donruss nickname variation, Big Sexy card. I currently have it in a one touch, and it's my favorite card ever. Now, if there was ever a card screaming for an auto, that would be it. Sports guy Corey.
Yeah, I mean, do they have autos of that? That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
It's Doc from Back to the Future.
Long legs. Did you see Long Legs yet, Chris?
I have not. No.
It doesn't strike me as one that your wife would.
No, she didn't care for the first 30 seconds of the trailer, like the music alone. She's like, I don't want to see this. So,
the trailer was better than the movie. So
was it?
If you've seen
I do want to see it though. It looks really weird. I like weird. Acuna has looked great. 4 home runs already. I was clinging to this hope, Jeff, I'll just keep using Die Hard references, like John McClane clinging to that air shaft with the last knuckle on his fingers. That's how I felt.
Very real.
And Acuna has looked great. He's hitting the ball well, some great throws, but there's nothing here. There's nothing here. I think they really need to just gut the entire coaching staff and kind of start over. And they've
got some good pieces, so I don't think it's going to be a long rebuild. I mean, once you get Acuna and Strider fully healthy,
they have to change. I love Brian Snicker. I thought he was great. I love he's been with the Braves forever. He's a Hank Aaron guy from way back. He's been with the Braves for 50 years, but it's not working. I don't want him to. I feel like there should be some sort of conversation at this point. Like, we don't want to fire you because of what you've meant to the team, but we're gonna not even reassign, but just sort of maybe bring him into the front office or something. Just be like, that's it. Like, in some sort of respectful way, be like, we have got to make a change.
Put him on the broadcast.
Pitching coach has to go. The whole Strider thing just looks. That's a terrible look. Or not Strider thing. The AJ Smith-Shawver incident, where the dude was clearly in pain, and it was Strider who had to tell the pitching coach, like, "Hey, you need to go get this guy. Like, something's wrong with him." That's not a good look. It's just not. It's not great. So there's just no intensity in there. I don't know who they should get. I don't know. I've said before, I love to see Chipper Jones as their hitting coach, but they need a younger manager with some anger, with some fire, to really motivate these guys. And someone who'll get ejected, I think, is something that we missed that Bobby Cox
energy. Yeah.
Right.
For sure. After our collector has a card. Keeps forgetting to post. That'll cheer you up. Still have scores. FDR threw out the first pitch of Game 3 of the 1932 World Series, where Ruth called the shot at world famous Wrigley Field. That was.
Yep, so that's got to be it. I feel good with that. I think that's got to be it.
The green seats kind of back there. Yeah, I like that.
I can see that.
In case you're wondering, there's a lot of red on the back of this card, Chris.
Yeah, Babe Ruth led the league in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
Oh, Mark DeRosa, interesting. He couldn't take over now because he's managing the World Baseball Classic, but
but he might take the job.
He might take the job. I mean, obviously, if it's offered to him, who wouldn't take it, right?
Right.
I don't know. I think at some point we have to really look at Anthopoulos, and he's got to look in the mirror and realize how much of this is on him. You know, the team has essentially, outside of 2023, we've taken a step back since he and Freddie's agents messed up that whole situation. So, I mean, the sale trade is great, but everything else has been really about as close to a disaster as you can get.
Yeah, LKS, this is what I was saying too, but I know that he was able to stand for short periods of time very early in his presidency, and that's what this would have been. Or this would have been even before his presidency, right? Wasn't he 33 to 45 or something?
Yeah, I think he elected in 32. So, So, Joseph Pirelli is very interesting. The Nats. There's talk about a young core. Man, James Wood looks legit. Mackenzie Gore. Yeah.
That trade's looking good for the Nats.
It really is.
Ooh. Orioles hired John Mabry as a senior advisor, won 6 straight games. You'd think that at some point that would have had to turn with that lineup, but that pitching is not going to get him anywhere.
No, definitely not. Hold on. A couple of that was this comment in here.
Murph Dirt's looking for the owner of the 2025 Judge Golden Mirror.
Oh, it was I don't know if it's in the chat, but it's a Yankee Doodle Dandy cards on Instagram. If you want to shoot him a message. David Ross would be interesting, former Brave. He was a coach.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah, he managed the Cubs for a little bit, didn't he, Jeff?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Probably should not have let Pache go. I'm not sure that was the worst move. That might not be a blemish on the resume. Veritek is the bench coach in Boston. We saw him when the Red Sox were in Atlanta. I totally forgot about that till he brought the lineup card out. That was kind of fun to see. I think whoever said Mark DeRosa, ATL Jeff Black, you're right. If he got offered, he would definitely take that job. But I don't know. I think he might need a year in the minor leagues or so just to sort of get used to.
don't know.
I don't know
We've
either.
seen it work for some guys, but yeah, it could. Murford's asking because he has one at PSA, and the second one popped a couple of days ago.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
What was I going to say? Yeah, as long as Mark DeRosa doesn't hire Dan Plesac as the pitching coach, that's where I draw the line.
Hey, you wouldn't have to see him on MLB Network, so it's kind of a trade-off.
I have to see. Oh, that's a good point. I would probably hear him less, maybe see him more. I don't know. All right, a couple more cards, Jeff. We can't go on as long as usual. Is there anything? Yeah, let me pull up a card. Hold on. I was about to just go off on something, so let's just move on.
Yeah. There's some players. Stephen Vogt needed 0 coaching experience as manager of the year. There's some former players, and Vogt was pretty much right out of the league, and but everybody knew that he would make a great manager. So yeah, it can work for some people.
Yeah, that takes an organization like, it was Oakland, right? That just gave him the job. Was it Oakland? No. Yes.
Yes.
We say with confidence.
Yes.
I dig this Pete Crow Armstrong. There's a lot of blue on this.
Very blue.
If
Cleveland.
anyone,
Yeah.
Cleveland. That's it. Yeah. If anyone put a bet down on Crow Armstrong to win the NL MVP in March, congratulations. You could probably cash that out now for a nice profit and not run the risk of Ohtani blowing him out of the water.
Yes, I would absolutely cash it in now. He's been on quite the heater.
Yeah. And this is cool. This is like the one, I think it's a series 2 from last year, Jeff, where they inexplicably made the whole border white instead of half of it black.
Yes, because that was the two-tone border year. And yeah, for some reason, it's not. Forbidden Donuts asking if we've seen the Bleacher Report on the top 30 players projected in 2030. I always love looking at those. I have not seen it. We'll have to take a look at it. We could maybe discuss it next week.
That would be a fun topic for next week, for sure. See how angry everyone gets.
Yeah.
Including us. Hold on. Brewers Kill here says he was late. He was at, I don't know who Mike.
Oh, the Milwaukee Milkmen. That's the minor league team there, that independent minor league team just outside of Milwaukee. Great fun ballpark to go to. Very cool.
Oh, Crazy Cryptids. I like what you did here. Yeah, this is just a cool card. And it's probably one of his most unique flagship cards from last year. I don't think he has a ton of variations in a lot of sets. Like, unlike guys like Ellie De La Cruz and the Jacksons, who have variations everywhere.
Yes.
Crow Armstrong doesn't have as many. So this is a very, very cool card. And it comes from Cubs Cards Catalog on Instagram. Want to make sure I get the shout out correctly. Yeah, a little does with some Vibrant Beauregard. Yeah. All right. And we had talked about, hold on, shoot. Let me, ADR Collects, who I think was just in trivia with us, posted this, this Cody Bellinger from 2020, part of the close-ups. I think out of series 1.
Yeah.
And it jumped out to me, Jeff, and I mentioned, I think, in my story, that he looks way less stoned in this image than he usually does.
Is that because of the angle?
Maybe we just can't see enough bloodshot in his eye.
Yeah, we don't get the head-on angle, and this is, I love the use of shadow. It's a great photo, and yeah, he does not look stoned.
Yeah, it's a cool card. Nice jawline here, a lot of eye black. This is a cool card of a guy who looked like he was on the absolute.
I mean, that was right off his MVP year.
Yep.
Yeah, as Peep said, and he beat out my boy Yelich when Yelich broke his kneecap in mid-September.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Just wanted to say, Wheel Bobby Cox's old bones into the dugout and let him cook, says Doc's Cards. I mean, he'd get ejected from there, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Then they'd have to wheel him down the tunnel.
I do want to hold on, Jeff. Go ahead. What were you gonna
somebody
say?
was asking about that the PCA card. If you had it, would you sell it now? It depends. I probably would, but if you're a Cubs fan or a long-term believer in PCA, it'd be one of the cards to hold on to. Like Chris mentioned, unlike a lot of players, he doesn't have very many rare cards like this. So,
yeah, I'm curious actually what our viewers would say because yeah, I mean, Pete Crow Armstrong's stuff has obviously shot up a lot, and it should because the guy is he's killing it. I mean, he's one of the very few good fantasy decisions I luckily made in March. I would think Jeff has him in one league as well. Yep. Less by luck, more skill on your part, luck on mine. But yeah, this card is cool, and I would. Yeah, if you bought this for probably $100, maybe 150 last year, I bet you're looking at closer to 4 now, maybe 5. It's hard to
Yeah.
say no to that.
Yeah.
Centering on this one looks pretty good. A little off left to right, maybe.
Yeah, it's a little off. So I see. I mean, with current PSA, you wouldn't gem it likely. So, let's look at some of the answers.
Yeah.
Shelly says his Savant page doesn't really back the results he's having.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my concern too. He's a little out over his skis. Crazy Cryptids
Oh.
would hold on to it. ATL Jeff Black sell just because I don't collect them. David O, I'd keep it, but I'm a Cubs fan. Would not sell. Did the Cubs extend him yet? I don't think so.
They have not yet.
Sports guy Corey's all in.
I think this is like a fascinating thing to talk about.
Oh,
like
all out. Sorry, that's
All
great.
Out.
All out.
Like-
Quad, tripled. Great.
because yeah, we're talking about one of the hottest players in baseball, probably a player people are talking about in hobby shops all the time. And yeah, should we move this card now? Shelly the Turtle with a great point looking at his baseball savant.
I mean, you compare that with Juan Soto's baseball savant page, and it's night and day. Soto's got almost all red, especially where he's got blue. He's not speed, of course, in Soto, but it just shows how much of baseball can't be predicted in a short, especially in a short time frame.
Yeah, I would. Oh, Joseph Alessi, thank you for the detail here. There's a PSA 10 at auction now. 3 days left, already
I
$785.
wonder how the centering is on that. Was it an old 10 that's still a little off center, or did it was it an actual well-centered card? Hopefully it's well-centered.
Let's see if we can't grab one.
Evan says he rejected an extension offer. Ooh, bold.
Interesting.
Betting on himself.
I mean, do we know what that offer was? Always curious. Like
Yeah.
sometimes people do get aggressively lowballed. Jeff,
ATL Jeff Black's wondering what Cal Raleigh's cards. A little plug for our Spitball on Patreon. We talked about Cal Raleigh in detail this week, along with Jack Caglione and Juan Soto. So, yeah, check out Cal Raleigh's cards. He doesn't have a lot, and they're not doing as much as you might expect.
So that is the PSA 10, which looks centered just about the exact same way.
Same way. Yeah, I cannot. That's almost even. I think that's even more off left to right. That's a pretty skinny border on the right.
It is, but it's not like super thick on the left. But I do see a difference there. Hold on, let me just. What are we looking at here?
Cubs wasted all their money on console. Yeah.
Wow. I will say, since we are talking about Cal Raleigh, I can always just show pictures of cards. This is on Market Movers, a picture of one of Cal Raleigh's best looking rookie cards. Can you see it clearly enough? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 2022 Stadium Club Chrome. You could have obviously guessed what's that I was going to look at first.
The handshake line.
Yep. Looks like a handshake line. I'm not sure. Yeah. It's just maybe it's hard to really, someone can probably look up this image, but did he just homer? And this is like the first guy giving him a high five. I can't really tell the situation here, but I do like the horizontal. I like the big bold auto. Here's a base, Jeff. What do you think this one just sold for? 2 days ago.
A base rookie auto, $50.
Oh, now I gotta get there. Hold on.
Yeah, he does have a nice auto.
He does have a nice auto, and it's a really good looking card. Is that the manager? I'm trying to see who he's like celebrating with right there. This one sold raw $91.
Wow. We had guesses of 60 and 75, so you guys were closer than me.
91 on June 3rd. A PSA 10 of that sold for $250 on June 10th. Oh, I'm sorry. Obviously, it's not June 10th. June 10th hasn't happened yet. On June 2nd. Sorry about that. But yeah, that's a pretty cool card. That one looks nice. I do actually see another one sold for $130 at a fixed price. So
that's shiny.
Yeah, it's a nice looking refractor right there. But yeah, something to think about. Probably not the best time to buy a Cal Raleigh card.
So, real quick update on your question, Chris, about PCA. It sounded like that extension was early in the season or in March even, so it didn't get very far. It was a $75-ish million offer, and it was before this big start. So, kudos to him for holding out and betting on himself.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, he definitely is someone who, just based on what we have seen, might want to think about signing that deal. if he can guarantee himself $100 million right now, man.
Yes. You see the Judge Rainbow Auto rookie that's up, Chris?
Sure did. I think you and I talked about it.
Yeah, that's a great card. A great card.
Yeah, this is absolutely gorgeous. It's probably our favorite Judge rookie image. This one or the flagship SSP.
It's gotta be, yeah. The
and it's
national
awesome.
anthem there.
Yeah.
I'm just not quite sure about that auto though. The beginning of it looks pretty light. Like the A. I don't know if it's just faded or if you used a different pen. It's just a little wonky.
Yeah, I don't know. It could also just be part of the reflection as well. That's a great point.
It could be. It could be. And I mean, I'm just nitpicking. It's obviously a beautiful card. I would.
Yeah. And just a little background info. It's a rainbow foil, so it is numbered out of 10. That's the good thing about this card. The bad thing is that it's a rainbow foil.
Which, you know what that means.
It's going to look like this.
My Cheerio around here.
Yeah.
I don't. But yeah.
Yeah.
Typical. Yep. So put that in a one touch and leave it there.
Yeah. These cards are not for grading. I mean, look at this. This one's beat up a little bit more than most, but this is pretty typical for a Stadium Club rainbow.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. And that's what I was thinking too, Forbidden Donut, about the faded. Shelly the Turtle, we did see this. The Judge rookie raw black sale. Our resident Yankees fan Jake sent that out to us.
Yeah, we saw that one after the fact. I'm not gonna lie. Had Jeff and I seen that card, there would have been a very, very serious conversation about.
Tried to talk me into going after it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
seems like a lot of money, but it is a lot of money. But it's
not a great image. I don't know if that holds it down a little, but SFO Sox fan, I just wanted to point this out because I'm going to have to go check this out after the show. Seattle Mariners, who are amazing at social media, have a great 12 to 15 minute segment of Big Dumper and Logan Gilbert giving each other lie detector tests. And as Chris knows, I once played an agent who had to conduct a lie detector test on TV. So I got to meet a real agent who did lie detector tests, which was pretty interesting. Most people fail them. He was just saying it's pretty easy to tell. The other thing, there was our crack research team. I think this was Silap Scores. Researched Warren G. Harding. Somebody mentioned Nate Dogg, maybe he's in the picture as well. Warren G. Harding, opening day 22, which means, Chris, this is 26-year-old, 27-year-old Babe Ruth right there.
Wow. Legitimately, what size hat was Babe Ruth wearing? Like an 11?
Oh, man. 27 years old. Jeez. And there's Warren G. Harding.
I want to see that in the Hall of Fame, Jeff. I want to see the Babe Ruth hat next to the Barry Bonds hat. Now, I'm not saying Babe Ruth is doing steroids. This is a gigantic melon. Like that next is a large.
Barry Bonds 1987 hat and then his 2004 hat.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I definitely want to see it. Hold on. He looks 45. Yeah, I mean.
Exactly.
It's crazy. He looks older in that picture than Paul Rudd looks today.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Forbidden 8.5 hat size. Yeah, I mean, that's probably closer to, it still seems enormous, but.
Yes, Forbidden Donut. This was great. Yeah, and 401 both responding. Remember, Wells won the Babe Ruth hat in an auction for like $32,000 or something and then wore it.
Yep, I think he paid the fine.
Got fined $32,000.
Something like that. Yeah. Murph Dirt 99 just mentioning he's got one of those Judge autos, not the rainbow foil, but he's got a base Stadium Club auto.
Awesome.
Congrats. Awesome
Great
card.
Image. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of the Ohtani, like introductory podium press conference Stadium Club rookie, but I get why it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I like the Aaron Judge image a lot more.
Me too. And it's way better than his flagship image.
Absolutely. There's fewer men's. Well, there's just his crotch, which we can deal with.
Right.
Late 90s. Okay. Hold on. There was one. Did I have one more? Oh, yeah. I wanted to finish with this card. Haha. Sounds wrong. Isn't.
PSA wipe down service coming.
Yeah, right. I'm sure I missed some cards, so I apologize. Like I said, it's kind of a busy day for me.
Oh, it's been
busy days all around. I feel like every month I see one person post this card, maybe every other month, Jeff. And it just reminds me that I really want a copy. I know you really want a copy, but we just haven't gotten one yet. But this one comes from our good buddy Brandon over at So Many Slabs, TSO. And he got his hands on one of the 2024 Ohtani Topps Chromes. I mean, every time I see this card, it just looks, I get like the sparklers, the whatever that is, the flare, the shine, the fireworks. It just looks so cool.
It's such a great shot. It's always a reminder of what Topps is capable of doing.
Yes. Well said. Yeah. And it's just, there's just the potential here.
Yeah.
What he turned into is
what Ohtani turned into, Topps capturing that moment, getting it out the same year as that moment happened. Kudos all around.
Yeah, let me just grab, hold on. Who else? And this also, I want to point out that Pujols Card Guy 5 also shared this card. So it was twice today that this one popped up. I want to make sure everyone gets their
due. Yeah.
Gets their due, yeah. All right, let me grab this one.
Yeah, how about them Brewers? I didn't celebrate too much. I didn't want to be dancing on the Braves' grave.
No, dance. You're my sadness doesn't mean that other people can't be happy.
Sure beats Pete Alonso beating them in a playoff game while we're on the show.
Yeah. All right, I mentioned this card earlier, so I just want to make sure that we showed it. So
yes,
2020 update. We're talking about 2020 SPs a lot today, and rightly so. But update has this David Ortiz, and it's kind of interesting because you can see it under position there. It says special assistant Boston Red Sox instead of DH. And JB Cards 1991, who shared this, kind of joked that Ortiz looks like a gangster a little bit.
Yeah.
Definitely has like a Goodfellas sort of feel to this. Like he's collecting season ticket money or something from people who are a little bit late on their payments.
And it's awesome because it uses the tropes of great sports photography. We've got the low angle shot, the historic ballpark in the background, but yeah, he's in not what you'd expect. He's not in his jersey. He's in this dapper suit. Casino Red Sox. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's good. That's funny. Hold on. Let me just.
Mad City Brew says, great show. If anyone's grandfather served in World War II and made through D-Day, thank you. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here and be able to collect cards. Absolutely. Yeah. Both my grandfathers were in the war, not in D-Day, but my one grandfather, Chris, he was on a ship in the Pacific, and his ship got torpedoed. And then they had a long, slow drag back through enemy territory. So, yeah, otherwise I wouldn't be here.
Jeez.
Oh, Tux Cards, nice reference here. Assistant to the general manager.
That's funny. Yes, good call. There's also no one posted it this week, and I'm not sure I've ever seen one on Instagram, but there's a Derek Jeter out of this 2020 Topps update. There's an SSP of him with the Marlins.
That's what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's the only Derek Jeter card where he is not on the Yankees. So it's horizontal like this. It has the Marlins logo. I think it even says like president or something on there. But if you're a Jeter collector, that's definitely one you might want to get a safe search going for.
Oh, man. Yeah, I would love to see that.
Maybe next month.
What was I going to say? I forgot who said it, but somebody said they really appreciate SSP Thursdays. We do as well. It's so much fun to see all these cards. So yes, thank you to everybody who participated. And if you don't have an Instagram account, it's worth, and you love cards, it's worth creating one just if you just want to hang out there on the first Thursday of every month and see the SSPs.
Yeah, you can hop in there.
Great design on this post too. Love this one.
Yeah, you can hop in there and check that hashtag. And at this point now, I think we're up over like 500-600 posts. Mm-hmm. And it's very fun to just kind of scroll through and see how many of these cards you've never seen before. Because like we said tonight, there's still stuff that we haven't seen.
Yeah, like the A-Rod stuff.
Yeah.
Or you want to talk about this one first before I
2024, like they were Topps started using some of these team home run celebrations, and they did team themes with their gold mirrors. A fantastic idea.
Yes.
Here we've got J-Rod and Cal Raleigh with the Seattle Trident, which is
very cool.
Very, very cool. Extra points to 3 guys' cards for his extra effort on this post here. It looks great.
Looks awesome. Sports Guy Corey has a question for you, Chris. Before you go, I forgot to ask earlier, is 2007 the year Topps went heavy with SPs and SSPs? We did do a video on this, but you want to give
I think there's 5 in there, but they're like, man, I'm not even sure what we would really describe them as. I know our friend of the show, Ben Orr 14 Sports Cards, and I have debated if those should count or not. I think the first year they really made an effort was 09, with a bunch of legends. And the first real image variation for an active player is Sabathia in 09 as a Yankee. But they really start getting great in like 2012, 13, and 14. That's when they start getting real fun.
Yeah, and putting them in chrome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, before we go, I do want to show the chromes that we put. Adam mentions he was dying to share his 2020 Stadium Club Harper.
Yep. If you hang on, I'll pull that up because I always like looking at that one as well.
Yes, I saw a couple of those today, which is
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah, it was referred to as a grail card, as a perfect card. I mean, all those descriptors are exactly right. So yeah, AB8 Hobbies on Instagram. Here's the Harper he's talking about. Just A+, no notes.
Yes. Perfect card. Love how you've got in the one touch. I mean, as I'm guessing, it probably has some corner stuff like most stadium clubs do. So that looks great in that one touch.
Yeah, Shelly, thank you, buddy. We appreciate your help with the show behind the scenes as well. But yeah, this card is perfect. I need to see other players like this, Jeff. There's got to be a shot of Mookie Betts in front of something that says Dodgers. You know, I mean, there has to be other versions of this that we can get as years go by, because this card is just, it's fantastic.
Yeah, this would be a great theme if they could somehow do like an homage to it in future years.
Yeah, I don't see why they couldn't.
ATL Jeff Black taking pictures of the back of players' heads. Are you thinking of the Prince Fielder SSP?
Yeah. That's a good one.
That's a great one. Chrome SSP. While you're looking for something, Chris, I just wanted to show
pull
these
ours
ones that Chris and I posted today. I called it our 4 aces. And Tops, for all the bad things they do, I got to give them kudos when they choose wisely. And they did for their 2012 pitchers. They picked Steven Strasburg, Tim Lincecum, Roy Halladay hitting.
Oh, yeah.
And Justin Verlander. So in my post, as I mentioned, there's a lot of world championships amongst these 4, 9,000 strikeouts. And these are really rare. I think the Halladay is a pop 1.
Yep.
8. Yeah. It's only the only one graded at PSA. This Lincecum, I believe, is a pop 3. This is a pop 1. That's a 10, but PSA has 3 total.
Yep. Correct.
Strasburg is another pop 1. I can't remember how many. I put it in my post, but I can't remember how many Strasburgs there are. And Verlander's interesting because this is a card we got knowing it wouldn't grade well.
Yep.
It got a 6. Interestingly enough, there's 4 of these graded at PSA. 1 is a 10, and 3 are 6s.
Wow.
3 6s out of the. I guess what that could mean, Chris, is that maybe somebody tried to grade it multiple times. But when you look at it, you can see there's obviously damage here, so it wouldn't grade higher. But
yeah, I'll be honest. I don't think it's that. We know the person we got it from. I don't think they graded this one because I think we got all 4 from the same person.
Yeah,
that is weird. It's possible that they all suffered the same corner fate.
Yeah, but maybe they got dropped. Yeah, so between these 4 cards, I think there's 11 of these total at PSA. So it is a point of pride for us that we managed to get a hold of those 2012s. We're still looking for some 2013s and 2014s, but
always
fun to show those.
Yeah, I wanted to say Evan G here. This made me laugh. He has a Lucas Giolito rookie card with a hitting image. I've seen that, and every time he pitches, it drops in value. He pitched. I hate to say it, Jeff. He pitched. His best game is probably against the Braves, but that's what most pitchers are saying.
That's a low bar these days after that Rocky start.
Very true. Very true. Jabroni says, have we seen the 2018 Stadium Club SP? Some guy on Blow Up made a variation guide with photos, and it is awesome. Yes, I can actually pull a picture of that up pretty quick. Our good buddy Jake has one of those on his page. Nice little Aaron Judge collection.
Jake
over
has
there.
A lot of really great cards, and he showed some of them last week when he was filming.
Oh, did he? Oh, great. I have not been able to watch the whole thing. It's been pretty crazy over here. And of course, now that I need to find something on his page, I'm not going to be. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah. The 2018 is the horizontal one. Yeah, with Aaron Judge holding his bat. in a slightly phallic manner. Let's be
Yes.
realistic, but it is what it is.
Giant bat foreground. Love that.
Yeah. Yes. Of these 6 cards, Jeff, there are 5 really cool pictures, and then another one.
Which is your favorite of all these?
Oh, absolutely top right.
Yeah. Same
I think
here.
it's one of the best Aaron Judge images on a card. We get the full follow through, and his entire body's in the frame. I love that card.
The front leg. Is that the Sky Dome in the second one?
I think so. Yeah, it looks like the CN Tower back there. Yeah, I have a raw copy of this one in the top right, but it just sits in a one touch and it looks great.
Yeah.
Amazingly, Jake has a PSA 10. I think there's like 2, maybe 3.
Forbidden Donut. Thank you for your hobby service.
Yeah.
You made
Well,
the guide.
was that just an Aaron Judge? Was that an Aaron Judge Stadium Club guide? I imagine that post would get a lot of hits right now, Jeff.
Yeah. Chris, offhand, do you remember what 2013s we need? Chris is the person to ask for this.
Yeah, in 2013, we have completed that set, but we are always looking for duplicates. So if you have any, and you're looking to move them, please let us know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I misspoke. We're looking for some in 2012 and 2014.
Yeah, 14, we just need the Puig. And I've never seen it. I've never seen it outside of a Beckett checklist and one person on Blowout that showed me a picture of his. That's it. I've never seen it for sale. I've never seen it anywhere else. 2012, we're missing 7, I think. I think 7 cards to get to 20. So we'll see what we can see if we can knock a couple more of those off before the end of the year.
Yeah, I think they did 20 and then 25, 25, or was it 20, 20, and then 25?
20, 25, and 25.
Yeah.
We have a 72 spot slab binder ready to go, ready to be filled
Ready to
up.
go to get them in there. And hopefully PSA adds it to the registry.
Right.
Unier, I will check this out. I know which card you're talking about. It's awesome. If this is the one where he's in the on-deck circle, I believe. Yes, that's awesome. One I would like to have. ATL Jeff Black says he'll take the 2013 Freeman.
Yeah, there's a long line of people that are looking for that card after that World Series home run. I thought for sure, Jeff Black, one of those was going to pop up. Sports guy Corey. I thought one would show up after the World Series and go up for a bit, and it never did. And stuff like that. That I feel like that's when that's when you start to question if you'll ever see stuff when a player does something that big.
Yeah.
And the card still doesn't surface.
Paw Patrol card. Well, great. I wanted to highlight this message from SFO Sox fan before we take off.
Yeah.
Huge shout out to the community. This was a fun day. I had a lot of fun looking through my Instagram as we were being tagged and Blavin was being tagged. So many different cards and the people that are posting the stories that went along with them. It was really makes it a fun day. So appreciate everybody.
Yeah, and we especially enjoy when we get when I see a couple new accounts every month that are putting an SSP Thursday post up. I think that's great. I like to see the reach expand. I also love to see the same people with new cards. That's always fun. But I love to see that reach expand to like a new person who's like, this is my first SSP Thursday. That always gets me kind of excited. It means that other people are finding it and they're enjoying it and they're getting something out of it, which is great, which is the whole reason we're doing it.
Yes, and it makes cards more expensive for us to buy, but it's worth it because we get to see a lot more cards that we would never otherwise see.
Yeah.
All right. Anything you want to say before it's got to be getting late where you are over there on the East Coast?
It is. It's almost 11 o'clock. Yeah. I just did want to say, like, real quick. I wasn't in on spitballing where you guys talked about some of the stuff that PSA has doing or might be doing or will be doing, and that survey they put out is really, really weird. The idea of PSA wiping your cards down for you before they grade them, that is very, very strange. I think they're going to regret putting mentioning that in a survey, Jeff.
Yeah,
I doubt they'll ever offer it, but I think
we did talk about this in detail on Spitball, and in the fact that it was originally announced as a cleaning cards option, that they would be able to take care of small scratches. They use the words buffing in there. And then there was some severe backtracking because that verbiage was changed to a wipe down service and no mention of buffing or getting those scratches out. So yeah, it's questionable to say the least. And it raises a lot of questions. Would you, if you don't pay for it, are they going to penalize you? Ryan Hogue, the president, said that a lot of graders did this anyway, if their fingerprints or
fingerprint. Okay. I can see it quick.
But now he's saying that they're going to charge you for doing that. And and I admitted on the show that there's a huge need for this because they're doing a lot of direct to grading from eBay and ComC, which, as we've learned from experience getting those cards, they're not often as good as they look in pictures. So there's definitely a need for it, but I just don't know. It's a slippery slope. Plus, what happens if they damage the card when they're wiping it down? It seems like there'd be a lot of insurance liability. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't imagine them going with this because there's just too like the whole can of worms you just touched on. It all just seems crazy to me. But
yeah, I don't know if you highlighted this, but their relationship with some of the people in the hobby is a little questionable too, and it's tough because it's a company that, as Chris has said before, is really important to the hobby, and so you hate to see them getting in bed, so to speak, with some of these.
Yeah, and Unia, that's a great question. Does it sort of would we as customers feel like we have to spend that extra $3?
That's what I mean. Yeah. If you don't do it, you're going to get penalized. If you do it, are you going to get a little bump in their eyes? Yeah.
I don't know.
Hard to say.
Yeah, one more quick comment I want to touch on, Jeff, before we call it a night. Jabroni 155 says Jacob Wilson is a buy, and I do like the fact that people are onto that. His red logo rookie in Bowman seems to be the one attracting the most attention. And every day it looks like he's getting multiple hits.
As it should, yeah. He just keeps hitting. Sorry about that.
Well, hey, if you're getting ready to play us off, I get you.
Yeah, he just keeps hitting, which is hard to believe because there doesn't seem to be a lot to enjoy about that A's team except Soderstrom and Wilson.
Yeah, and I think and so go A's, yeah. And if they would just please let please let Rooker. We just need 3 more games in the outfield, Jeff, for him to qualify in ESPN.
Oh, for Brent Rooker, he's almost there.
3 more games, and he just DH'd all of last week. It is infuriating. How can Soderstrom be a better outfielder at this point? It drives me crazy. I can't play this guy. Although I did play him this week. I benched Matt Olson, but that is what it is.
And I did make that trade I asked you about. I did trade for Matt Olson. So since I've got him, he's done nothing. MVP though, I'm counting on your MVP charge.
I think this is all my fault, is what it boils down to. I think I did all of this. I made all this happen with that ridiculous prediction.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, the only other thing, I wanted to say thank you to everybody for participating in SSP Thursday. And it's been a rough week around here. There were some things that happened at my kid's school that just really put things in perspective and made you appreciate all the time we have with our loved ones. So I know, Chris, you're there with your family. Enjoy your time with your family, and wherever you guys are, just remember to enjoy your time you have with them.
Yeah, it's easy to tell other people to enjoy time with their family, Jeff. If you want to switch places right now, I might happily do it.
Pretty quiet over there. I think you're probably good for now.
But yes, take this weekend, please. Give someone in your family a text or a call. Check in on them, see how they're doing. They will appreciate it. Yes, absolutely. All right, thanks everybody for tuning in. I got to get some music to play us out here. Shelly, I just don't want to, but I might have to be a sacrifice that has to get made. More Acuñas.
Tune in now, don't be late.
All right, we'll play this off. But thanks everybody for joining us.
Baseball cards, it's worth the
I was trying to.
wait.
I meant to look ahead at the calendar, but I did not. When next SSP Thursday is. Hopefully it doesn't conflict with holiday, but we'll see everybody in July. It'll happen. July 3rd. All right. Good way to get into the hobby, the holiday weekend. So we'll see you guys next week, and then we'll see you for SSP Thursday shortly thereafter. Thanks, everybody. Yep.